What's up? Us people, we can be pretty strange creatures. Um, me, I never valued myself. I didn't think highly of myself. I had low self esteem, no confidence. Pretty much my whole life. I started using drugs. I started shooting up, and first I started popping pills, and then once I was doing that, I started shooting them up, and I used to shoot up pain pills and heroin and meth. Sometimes I do a cocktail of all three in one syringe, and that was whenever payday happened, and I felt like I could waste a little something something. But yeah, so long story short, I eventually I overdosed, and I can tell that story in detail later. Um, but yeah, so I overdosed. Um, I was revived in the emergency room, and when they revived me, I all I felt was this uncontrollable thirst. Like my mouth was dry, my throat was dry, my lungs were dry, and I tried to beg them for something to drink, for something water. I tried to beg them, but because my throat was so dry, my vocal cords didn't make any sound. It was just like that's how dry it was. I couldn't even talk, and I was writhing around, like just writhing around, just trying to beg them for water. One of them picked my leg up and wiped my butt and said, "I thought I smelt something." Dropped my leg and says, "Narcan saves another life." And just dropped my leg right there. I kept trying to beg for water and just twisting and curling my backwards and shit. And I started begging God for some water. I was like, "God, if I just get a little bit of moisture in here, I promise I'll never shoot up again." And I writhed around there for half hour, just dying of thirst. Couldn't talk still. I don't know what they had done they must have bagged me, or something like that, like when I was unconscious, because I was so dry in there. And it was that first willing breath, that I took when they revived me, like where I went, like your body suddenly realizes that you have not been willingly breathing at all, like, and you have to fight and struggle for each breath you take, and you got to fight for it. And I begged God for, I I told God I would not shoot up again if I got some water. Well, I got some water eventually. Here I am alive still. And I promised God I'd never shoot up again. And, I was serious about that. But once I was out and in my tent, sleeping on, I was on the floor, where all my spoons and my aluminum can bottoms and filters, syringe filters. I was sitting there and I was struggling with my promise to never shoot up again, and I was about to, I was about to shoot up another pill, and I was crying my eyes out. I was just crying my eyes out, begging God to forgive me because I was about to break that promise. I felt like such a piece of shit for not being able to keep the promise. And I begged God to forgive me. And at the time, you know, and I'm shaking and I'm trying to make my shot and it's just spilling everywhere and I can't stop it. And it's almost like I could see my whole life laid out like a blanket. And the blanket, instead of being perfectly flat and stretched out, it was wrinkled and kind of bunched up in places, all messed up. I could see it, and I was just begging God to feel sorry for me, to pity me, to just, you know, forgive me, not judge me the way I should be judged. And I shot up right there and I laid there on the tent floor in the dirt and laid there until I didn't feel like such a piece of shit that I could actually get up and go do something normal. Everything went back to normal, you know, like that was the last time I ever shot up. I didn't know it was going to be the last time I shot up, but that was almost 9 years ago. At the end of this year, it'll be 9 years. One day after that, one day I woke up and I was just in my grandma's living room and I was like, I asked, I said, they let me sleep in the house? Like, they let me sleep in the house? And my dad was like, yeah, for 4 days or 3 days, something like that. And I got up from there and I started doing chores. I was washing dishes. I was doing everything I could to not be pushed back outside into the dirt. Wanted to be a good member of the household family. My grandma took me in. I never shot up again. So yeah, I woke up 4 days after that, and that was 4 days that I didn't have to go through withdrawal. I didn't have to, you know, try to stay clean or anything, because I had no memory of the 4 days. And so those were like free 4 days I didn't have to experience. And so I wasn't going to waste that by, you know, getting, you know, shooting up again. I took hold of them and I went to bed that night, and the next day I woke up, it was day 5, you know. It was like, I've never gone through a week that easy, especially to get clean. Yeah, almost 9 years now. I'm going to we're going to take a break.